Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time we're going exploring the world of infrastructure management and specifically a tool called Terraform.
Ooh, exciting.
It is actually exciting. We've got some excerpts actually from a document called Terraform Interview Questions 510.pdf,
Okay.
and we're going to break down what you need to know about this really powerful tool. And I think even if you're not like prepping for a job interview or anything like that,
Yeah.
understanding Terraform can be so valuable for anybody who's working with cloud services these days.
Absolutely. It's becoming more and more important in the world of cloud computing, for sure.
So let's start with the basics.
Go on.
What exactly is Terraform?
So Terraform is an open source tool.
Mhm.
It's created by HashiCorp, and it allows you to define, provision, and manage your entire cloud infrastructure using code.
Okay.
So it's like having a blueprint for your entire cloud setup. You have your
Yeah.
servers, databases, networks,
hmm
all described in a way that's repeatable and scalable.
So instead of like clicking around in a cloud provider's console, you're essentially writing code
Exactly.
to build and manage everything.
Yeah.
This is what's known as infrastructure as code,
Yes.
or IAC, right?
Right.
What are the key benefits of using this approach?
Well, for one, it drastically reduces the potential for human error. You're not manually configuring settings or, clicking buttons,
Right.
which minimizes the risk of mistakes. Plus, you get all the benefits of version control, just like you would with your software code. So you can track changes, collaborate with your team, and even roll back to previous versions if needed.
Oh, so it's like having a safety net for
Exactly.
your infrastructure.
Yeah.
And with everything defined in code, deployments become much faster and more consistent, right?
That's what I say. You can automate the entire provisioning process, ensuring that your infrastructure is deployed quickly and consistently every time.
Now, our source mentions that Terraform isn't the only tool in the infrastructure management toolbox. It compares Terraform to tools like Ansible, Puppet, and Chef.
Right.
How does Terraform differ from these tools?
That's a great question, and it's something that a lot of people get confused about.
Yeah.
So, while they all play a role in managing infrastructure,
Yeah.
Terraform's focus is specifically on provisioning the infrastructure itself.
hmm
So think of it as laying the foundation.
Okay.
Ansible, Puppet, and Chef, on the other hand, are more focused on configuring and managing the software and applications that run on that infrastructure.
Okay. So using the house analogy,
Yeah.
Terraform is like the architect who designs and builds the foundation and the walls and the roof,
Uh-huh.
while tools like Ansible, Puppet, or Chef are like the electricians, plumbers, and interior designers who come in to make the house functional and livable.
That's a perfect analogy. I love that.
They each have their own area of expertise
Yeah.
and work best at different stages of the infrastructure lifecycle.
Exactly.
Now, let's talk about a concept that sounds a bit mysterious, Terraform state. What exactly is this and why is it so important?
Okay, so Terraform state is essentially Terraform's memory.
Yeah.
It's a file that keeps track of everything Terraform has built and how it matches up to your code.
Mm-hmm.
And this is crucial for Terraform to function correctly.
Okay.
So when you make changes to your code, Terraform compares the new instructions to the information in the state file to determine what needs to be updated, added, or removed.
So it's like a snapshot of my entire infrastructure.
Exactly.
And without it, Terraform wouldn't know what's already been deployed and how to make changes safely.
Precisely.
Hmm.
The state file is vital for maintaining consistency and preventing unexpected consequences when managing your infrastructure.
Oh, wow.
That's why it's so important to back it up.
Okay.
And ideally store it remotely in a secure location like AWS S3.
Mm-hmm.
This not only protects you from data loss, but it also enables collaboration.
Oh, okay.
Because if everyone in your team can access the same state file,
Yeah.
you can work together seamlessly without conflicting changes.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, most applications have different environments,
Right.
so development, staging, and production.
Mm-hmm.
How does Terraform handle managing these different environments without creating chaos?
So Terraform offers several features to manage multiple environments effectively.
Okay.
One of these is called workspaces. And what workspaces do is allow you to maintain separate state files for each environment within the same configuration.
Gotcha.
It's like having different blueprints for a house.
Ooh, okay.
One for the initial design, one for the construction phase, and a final one for the finished home.
So each environment has its own isolated state.
Yes.
So you're not accidentally deploying something to the wrong place or having conflicts.
Exactly.
That sounds incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
But how does Terraform actually interact with all these different cloud platforms?
Right.
Like AWS or Azure? They all have their own APIs and unique ways of doing things.
Yeah, so that's where providers come in. Think of providers as translators. They enable Terraform to communicate with each cloud service in its specific language.
So if I want to build something in AWS, I need the AWS provider.
Exactly.
If for Google Cloud, I need the Google Cloud provider.
You got it.
It's like Terraform's own version of a universal translator.
That's a great way to think about it.
That's pretty clever.
Providers are essential for bridging the gap between Terraform's generic language and the specific APIs of each cloud platform. This allows you to use Terraform to manage infrastructure across a wide range of cloud providers using a consistent approach.
Now, our source mentions two important building blocks in Terraform,
Okay.
modules and resources.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain the difference between these two and how they work together?
Sure. So think of resources as the individual building blocks of your infrastructure.
Okay.
They represent specific components within a cloud provider, like a virtual machine, a network, or a database.
Okay.
Modules, on the other hand, are collections of resources that work together to achieve a specific function.
So a module could represent like a complete web server setup,
Exactly.
including the server itself, the networking configuration, and a load balancer.
Yeah, it's like prefabricated components that you can assemble to create more complex infrastructure.
So modules are like prefab construction.
Exactly.
Saves time and effort.
It does, and it promotes code reuse, organization, and allows you to share your infrastructure designs with others.
That's a brilliant way to streamline things.
Yeah.
But what happens when you already have existing infrastructure that wasn't built with Terraform?
Right.
Is it possible to bring that under Terraform's management?
Absolutely. You can tell Terraform, hey, this server already exists, take control of it. And it becomes part of your managed infrastructure alongside all your other Terraform-defined resources.
So it's like reverse engineering the blueprint from the finished building.
That's a great way to put it.
That's incredibly flexible.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about customization. How does Terraform allow me to tailor my infrastructure to specific needs without having to rewrite large chunks of code every time I need to make a change?
Yeah, so that's where variables come into play.
Okay.
Variables let you customize your Terraform code without changing the core structure. It's like having adjustable settings for your infrastructure.
So instead of hard coding values like server sizes or regions directly into my code, I can use variables
Exactly.
to make these aspects configurable. This means I can reuse the same code for different environments or projects
Right.
just by changing the variable values.
Exactly.
This has been incredibly insightful.
It's a powerful tool.
So far, we've covered the core concepts of Terraform, from its role in IAC and the importance of state management to the way it interacts with cloud providers and utilizes modules for efficiency.
A lot to cover.
It is a lot, but there's so much more to explore.
Oh, definitely.
Let's take a deeper dive into some of the more advanced aspects of Terraform in the next part of our conversation.
Sounds good to me.
All right, let's keep this Terraform train rolling. I'm ready to uncover some more of its secrets.
Yeah.
Our document mentions that Terraform configurations are written in a language called HCL, HashiCorp configuration language.
Right.
For someone just starting out, how difficult is this language to grasp?
Well, the good news is that HCL was designed specifically with infrastructure management in mind.
Okay.
So it's actually quite human readable and relatively easy to pick up, even for beginners.
Okay, so you don't have to be like a seasoned programmer
Right, exactly.
to understand the basic syntax.
You don't need to be a coding expert.
That's a relief to hear. But I imagine there's still a learning curve involved.
Of course, like anything new. But the good news is that Terraform has excellent documentation and a very supportive community.
Okay.
So there's tons of resources available online to help you get started
Awesome. Very cool.
and troubleshoot any issues you might run into.
Speaking of community,
Yeah.
our source material focuses on Terraform interview questions, right? This suggests there's a real demand for people with Terraform skills in the job market.
Absolutely.
What kinds of roles and industries are actively seeking out these skills?
It's a great question. So as more companies are moving towards cloud-based solutions and embracing infrastructure automation, the demand for Terraform expertise has really skyrocketed. You'll find these skills listed in job descriptions for DevOps engineers, cloud architects, system administrators,
Wow.
and even software developers who work with cloud-based applications.
So learning Terraform isn't just about gaining a cool new skill.
Right.
It could be like a strategic career move.
Exactly. Adding Terraform to your skill set can make you a much more competitive candidate in a rapidly growing field.
Very, very cool. It seems like this deep dive is not only informative, but potentially career
I
boosting.
like that. I like that.
Okay, now digging a little deeper into the source material.
Yeah.
It mentions that Terraform can manage a wide range of resources. It's not just about spinning up virtual machines, right?
It's not just virtual machines. It can handle pretty much anything you need to build in the cloud.
Okay.
Virtual machines, networks, databases, security groups, load balancers,
Wow.
even higher level services like managed Kubernetes clusters.
So you can manage your entire cloud infrastructure with Terraform,
You got it.
from the foundational elements
Mm-hmm.
to complex integrated
The whole
services.
thing.
That's pretty impressive. But with all this power comes responsibility, especially regarding security.
Of course, yes.
I noticed the source document touches upon the importance of securely managing that Terraform state file
Yes.
and using variables to avoid hard coding sensitive information.
Absolutely. So security is paramount when dealing with infrastructure.
Yeah.
And Terraform provides a number of features that contribute to a secure infrastructure management process.
Okay.
So you can encrypt your state files to protect sensitive data,
Right.
and using variables for sensitive information like passwords or API keys helps prevent this information from being exposed directly in your code.
So rather than embedding that sensitive information directly into the code,
Yeah,
you store it separately and reference it through variables.
exactly. And you can store these values in dedicated files or even use environment variables for even greater security.
Oh, okay.
This way, that sensitive data is never directly committed to your version control system,
Yeah.
minimizing the risk of exposure.
It seems like Terraform has been built with security best practices in mind.
It's from the ground up.
From the ground up. Another key aspect of modern software development is collaboration, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does Terraform support teamwork and shared responsibility for infrastructure management?
Does a great job at this. So the ability to store your state file remotely, as we talked about earlier,
Right.
enables seamless collaboration among team members.
Mm.
Everyone can work on the same infrastructure code base.
Okay.
See the changes reflected in that shared state file,
Yeah.
which promotes transparency and helps prevent conflicting modifications.
So no more stepping on each other's toes or accidentally.
Right, exactly.
Overwriting someone else's changes,
Yep.
that's a relief. But up until this point, we've been talking about Terraform in a somewhat abstract way.
Right.
Can you share some real-world examples of how organizations are leveraging Terraform to solve actual infrastructure challenges?
Absolutely. So one really common use case is automating the deployment of cloud-based applications.
Okay.
So with Terraform, organizations can define their entire application stack,
Mm-hmm.
the infrastructure, the application code, and all of its dependencies,
Wow.
all in a single unified configuration.
Okay.
This allows them to deploy their applications consistently and reliably across different environments,
Right.
from development and testing to staging and production.
So it's like having a one-click deployment pipeline
Exactly.
for your entire application infrastructure.
It definitely streamlines the process and significantly reduces the risk of errors.
That sounds incredibly efficient.
It is. And another really widespread use case is infrastructure standardization. So Terraform modules allow organizations to create reusable blueprints for their infrastructure,
Right?
ensuring consistency and adherence to best practices across their entire cloud footprint.
Ah, so you could have a library of pre-built Terraform modules
Exactly.
for common infrastructure components like databases, web server setups, or network configurations.
That's right.
This approach not only saves time and effort,
Yeah.
it also helps to minimize configuration drift,
Yes.
which is a common challenge when you're managing infrastructure manually.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
With Terraform, you define the desired state of your infrastructure,
Yes.
and it will automatically detect and correct any deviations from that state.
That's right.
So Terraform can actually tell you if someone has like manually modified something they shouldn't have
Mm-hmm.
and automatically fix it.
Exactly.
That's like having a self-healing infrastructure.
I like that. It's a powerful feature that helps maintain consistency and prevent potential issues.
Another area where Terraform shines is cost optimization.
Yes, definitely.
Cloud costs can quickly spiral out of control
Oh, absolutely.
if not managed properly.
Mm-hmm.
And Terraform can play a key role in keeping those costs in check.
For sure.
That's interesting. How does it contribute to cost optimization?
So you can use Terraform to automatically provision and deprovision resources based on usage patterns.
Okay.
So for example, if your application needs more servers during peak hours,
Right.
Terraform can automatically spin them up and then shut them down when demand decreases.
Oh, so you only pay for the resources
Exactly.
when you actually need them.
You got it.
It's like having an intelligent system that right-sizes your infrastructure in real time.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
You can also use Terraform to enforce cost-saving policies,
Mm.
like leveraging spot instances
Right.
or reserved instances.
Mm-hmm.
These strategies can significantly reduce your cloud bill without compromising performance
Yeah.
or reliability.
That's right.
So Terraform isn't just about building and managing infrastructure.
It's the whole package.
It's also about optimizing costs and ensuring efficiency.
Mm.
It really is a comprehensive tool. But technology never stands still.
That's true.
What are some of the emerging trends or future directions you see for Terraform?
That is a great question. Terraform is a constantly evolving tool.
Yeah.
We can expect some really exciting developments in the coming years. One area that I'm particularly interested in is the integration of artificial intelligence and machine learning.
AI and Terraform.
AI and Terraform, yes.
That sounds like a powerful combination.
Yeah, it really does.
What are some of the potential applications of AI in the context of Terraform?
So imagine Terraform being able to analyze your infrastructure usage patterns
Okay.
and automatically suggest optimizations like right-sizing resources or identifying potential cost savings,
Bro.
or even predict potential issues before they arise,
Mm.
proactively take steps to prevent them. The possibilities are really quite vast.
That's pretty amazing. It sounds like AI could take Terraform's capabilities to a whole new level. But let's not forget the human element. Right.
We talked about the importance of the Terraform community, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does this community influence the tool's evolution and development?
Well, the Terraform community is a huge driving force behind its success.
Okay.
It's an incredibly active and engaged community with developers, DevOps engineers, and cloud enthusiasts from all over the world contributing to its growth.
Wow.
They create new modules, share best practices, and provide really valuable feedback to the HashiCorp team.
So it's a truly collaborative effort,
It really is.
with everyone working together to make Terraform even better.
Exactly. The open source nature of Terraform, coupled with this active community, ensures that it remains at the forefront of infrastructure automation.
Yeah.
It's constantly evolving, driven by the needs and insights of its users.
It sounds like Terraform is more than just a tool.
Yeah.
It's like a vibrant ecosystem that's changing the way we think about and manage infrastructure in the cloud.
It really is. And
Yeah.
as cloud computing continues to evolve, I think we can expect even more exciting developments in the world of Terraform.
There's so much potential for innovation and growth in this space.
It's incredible to see how Terraform is shaping the future of infrastructure management. And I'm sure our listeners are eager to learn more. So
I'm sure.
for those who are ready to kind of dive in and maybe even start experimenting with Terraform, what resources would you recommend?
Well, the official Terraform documentation is always a great place to start.
Okay.
It's very comprehensive, well-structured, and provides clear explanations of all the different concepts and features.
And I imagine there's tons of like online tutorials and courses available for people who prefer like a more hands-on approach.
Oh, tons. Platforms like Udemy, Coursera, even YouTube have a wealth of resources on Terraform.
Yeah.
And then there are also lots of blogs and podcasts and online communities
Yeah.
where you can, really connect with experienced practitioners and get their insights.
So there's really no shortage of ways to learn and connect with the Terraform community.
Not at all. And don't hesitate to, ask questions, engage with the community. It's a very welcoming and supportive group.
That's great to hear. As we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Terraform, what's like the one key takeaway you'd want our listeners to remember?
I think the most important thing to understand is that Terraform really represents a paradigm shift in how we approach infrastructure management. It's about embracing those principles of infrastructure as code, automation, and collaboration
Yeah.
to create more efficient, reliable, and scalable infrastructure.
It's about moving away from those manual error-prone processes
Exactly.
and embracing a more modern and robust approach.
100%.
And the benefits extend to organizations of all sizes, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Whether you're a large enterprise or a small startup, Terraform can help you streamline your infrastructure management, reduce costs, and just improve your overall agility.
So whether you're a seasoned DevOps engineer or you're just starting your cloud journey,
Mm-hmm.
Terraform is a tool worth exploring.
For sure.
It has the potential to change the way you work and unlock a whole new level of efficiency and control over your infrastructure.
It really does. And as a final thought, I would encourage our listeners to kind of think beyond the technical aspects of Terraform and consider the broader impact of infrastructure as code.
Okay.
How might this approach transform the way we design, build, and manage not just infrastructure, but entire systems and applications?
That's an excellent point. It's not just about automating tasks.
Right.
It's about fundamentally rethinking how we approach technology and innovation.
Exactly. It's about embracing a more collaborative, efficient, and adaptable approach to building and managing the systems that power our digital world.
Well, it's been a fascinating exploring the world of Terraform with you.
Likewise,
Thank you for sharing your expertise.
it's been a pleasure.
And to our listeners, we encourage you to continue learning and experimenting with this powerful tool.
Absolutely.
Who knows? You might just discover a whole new passion for infrastructure as code.
You never know.
Until next time, keep diving deep.